Okay, so one of the greatest debates, not just sports debates, one of the greatest debates of all time is obviously Messi and Ronaldo. But one thing I think is super underdiscussed is the psychology behind why you pick what you pick. Like the psychology behind, oh, I'm a Messi fan or oh, I'm a Ronaldo fan. And that's something I want to talk about. I'm going to break down the psychology for you and tell you why you picked what you did. Obviously, soccer or football is like the biggest it's ever been. At least it feels like that way, just due to the World Cup happening and just the nature of social media right now. And part of this popularity is definitely due to this Ronaldo versus Messi debate because there's not really has been as long standing of a heated sports rivalry at this level in any other sport, maybe ever. And I think the reason why a lot of people tend to lean towards the Messi direction is a little bit deeper than one might think. I'm not speaking out of turn, by the way. I was watching the sport at the prime of their careers, at the prime of their rivalry, the El Clasico tied like early to mid 2010s. So obviously I know what I'm talking about. And there is an exact science why you like who you like. There are a couple things to note though. The first of which is that I guess in this scenario, it doesn't really apply to girls. Like this is a dudes only rule. But if I think about it and really break it down, I'm sure I could dissect the psychology behind why a girl would pick what she would pick. And I think that would be interesting, but I'm not a girl, and maybe I'll do that in a later video. But yeah, that's rule one. And the second thing is that you don't necessarily have to be the biggest soccer fan for this litmus test to apply to you, but you have to have like some basic knowledge of who Messi and Ronaldo are, how they play, what they look like, how they act, etc., etc. Essentially, and I'm surprised I've never heard this before presented by anyone else, but people pick the player that they see more of themselves in. And this is because at the end of the day, Messi and Ronaldo can both be reduced to some pretty common tropes. So Messi is like the nerdy, short, quiet guy who stands up to bullies with his like God-given, superhuman level of talent. It's almost like an anime episode, and I think that's why a lot of anime fans like love Messi. Like that's why Messi has so many fans in Mexico, because obviously Mexicans love anime too, so it's like in tandem. So in general, I'd say that Messi fans are kind of on like the shorter, maybe a little more dorkier or introverted, beta type of side. And if you meet a Messi superfan, it's fairly likely that they've never really played a sport or never played soccer, probably never played a sport like super seriously. While Ronaldo is the kind of guy who's seen as more of like a hard worker, and he's tall and handsome and perceived to be a bit more like outgoing, arrogant, and people who were athletes themselves will probably tend to gravitate towards Ronaldo because they see more of themselves in that pursuit for greatness in Ronaldo. It's more evident in his personality. I think he was clearly the better athlete and not clearly the better player, but if you look at their careers in their entirety, Ronaldo was certainly the better player. But I think some people just see him as kind of foreign or off-putting or grating to them because they're kind of the opposite type of person. Like that's the type of dude who in their real life they wouldn't really have any affinity towards it. And when I said foreign before, I didn't mean foreign as a different country. I meant like it's a foreign concept to them. His personality type, how he acts, like how he carries himself is just the opposite of them. Whereas Messi might embody these type of kids more, like, and like I'm not calling them losers, but that's kind of what it is. It's like the loser kind of gravitates towards Messi, and maybe there's just more. It seems like there's more Messi fans right now. Maybe there's just a lot of losers in the world. I don't know. And I think they see Messi as like this elevated, like Messi's like the perfect loser. Messi's like the dream loser. Like imagine you just have this God-given talent. And again, I'm not saying that this is what Messi is, but this is how he's perceived, at least in contrast to Ronaldo. But imagine you're just given like this God-given talent, superhuman ability, but you just are like a normal, short, introverted, quiet, autistic, like type of guy. That's kind of like this trope that these people are falling into when they look at Messi. They say, "Oh, he's like me, like he's awkward, he's short, he's autistic, blah blah blah." And so I guess on my end, when I was younger, I was a pretty serious athlete. I was playing soccer every single day. I was traveling every weekend, and it was like one of the focuses of my life. And I was also kind of like a cocky type of kid. Like I thought I was the most handsome dude in school, and I just thought Ronaldo was cool, and I saw a bit of myself in him. And so since I was young, I was always a Ronaldo fan. I was reading his biographies, and his story was just a lot more interesting, relatable, inspirational to me compared to Messi. Because obviously, I mean, Messi is a great talent, but it's like his story of him essentially being a midget. He was like 4 feet tall at 11 years old. He had a hormone deficiency, and that's just something like that I couldn't relate to. Whereas Ronaldo was just like the hardest worker. He was like the peak of discipline and hard work and talent all coming together into one, and it was just a lot more in tune with what I wanted to do, what I could do. And obviously that made me a Ronaldo fan because I was just a kid and I wanted to work harder, be the best at the sport that I was doing at the time. Obviously that didn't pan out because now I'm sitting on my computer, making content. But I mean, at the time when I entered this world of soccer and becoming a fan, that's what made me gravitate towards Ronaldo more. Regardless, though, those are my thoughts on the Messi and Ronaldo debate. Obviously, the World Cup was pretty crazy, interesting, and like blew soccer up to an even higher level in the United States. Like its popularity is soaring right now, and I think that was also a bit embarrassing for Argentina. Obviously, they're like I'm not even gonna get into the cheating stuff because I think that's being a bit blown out of proportion. Like people are confirmation biasing their way to hating Argentina. Obviously, they have antics on and off the pitch, like Paredes, so annoying. Romero, so annoying, bro. DePaul, like all these dudes are very like they flop, they get violent, they're angry, blah blah blah. Regardless of that, though, Argentina is not a great team. They barely scraped their way through the group stages, bro. Like Cabo Verde in extra time, conceding 2 goals. Egypt conceding 2, having to come back, and then also having goals disallowed and stuff. And then Switzerland was probably the worst team in the quarterfinals, and Argentina barely even scraped by them. So it wasn't a great performance for Argentina, which made sense as to why they were like embarrassed in the finals by Spain. And I think just this performance and in general, Spain beating Argentina was kind of symbolic in that, like that generation, like the generation I grew up watching, that era of soccer is gone. Spain was kind of the epitome of new youthful soccer, like the new stars taking over. Obviously Yamal being like the most, like the youngest and like most lit right now. Obviously he didn't have like an insane tournament, but he played good, he played great, and he's still young. So them beating Argentina was kind of like the passing of the baton. And I think it's fair to say that era, like my era, like the era I grew up watching and loved, that's done. Is over essentially. Spain is like full of the new young talents, and honestly, I think they could be like the first modern team to go back to back. Obviously, unless France locks in, but Spain is just really good and really young. But yeah, it's just time for me to accept we've entered a new era, and with that era coming to a close, I wanted to share my thoughts. Essentially, this channel is just a diary for my thoughts and my ideas. So if that's something that interests you, then drop a subscribe. If not, thanks for watching this far. Hope you have a great week. At the end of every video, I talk about what I'm thankful for. Right now, I'm very thankful for a trip I'm about to go on. I'm looking forward to having some vacation time with my boys. So yeah, let me know what you're thankful for in the comments, and peace.